My name is Ethan Cole. I'm 24 years old, and for 8 months I worked the graveyard shift as a night auditor at a hotel that should have been condemned years before I ever set foot in it. What happened during my last week there is the reason I don't work nights anymore. Not anywhere, not for anyone. I took the job because it paid well and required almost no interaction with people. Check the register, run the night audit, hand out the occasional key to a late arrival. Simple. The manager who trained me only said one strange thing during my orientation. Room 214 doesn't exist. If a guest asks for it, tell them the hotel doesn't have a second floor. I laughed. She didn't. The first few weeks were quiet. Empty lobby, humming ice machine, the occasional trucker checking in at 3 a.m. Then, on a Tuesday, the front desk phone rang at 2:14 in the morning. No caller ID, I picked it up. Breathing. Slow, wet breathing, and underneath it, a voice barely audible. Room 214. I hung up. I told myself it was a prank. Kids messing with the hotel line. It happened again the next night. Same time. Same words. I stopped answering the desk phone after midnight. 3 nights later, I was doing my walkthrough of the second floor, which, according to every document I'd ever seen, only had rooms 200 through 213. I counted the doors like I always did. 210, 211, 212, 213, and then, at the end of the hallway, where there should have been a maintenance closet, there was a door. Plain, unmarked, except for a small brass plate. 214. I stood there for a long time. I told myself the closet had just been relabeled. I didn't touch the handle. I went back downstairs and didn't sleep for the rest of my shift. The other night, auditor, a woman named Priya, who worked weekends, was the only person who didn't dodge the question when I finally asked about it. She looked at me the way Priya always looked at things she didn't want to think about. "Don't go near it," she said. "And if you hear it ask for the key, you say no. Every time, no matter what it offers you." I asked her what it offered. She wouldn't answer. For a while, that was enough. I avoided the hallway. I stayed downstairs. But the hotel started finding ways to put me up there anyway. A guest would call about a leak on the second floor. Housekeeping would report a smell. Every excuse dragged me closer to that door. One night, doing a leak check in 213, I heard it right through the wall. Slow footsteps, circling. A voice, closer than the phone had ever sounded. "I have your key." I didn't respond. I finished the check with my back against the wall the whole time, facing the door, and left without turning off the light. 2 nights before my last shift, the front desk bell rang at 3 a.m. Nobody was in the lobby. I looked at the security monitor. The lobby camera showed the front desk empty except for me, and standing at the counter, a shape, tall, wrong at the shoulders, facing the camera directly even though nothing stood in front of me. I looked up from the monitor. Nothing there. I looked back at the screen. It hadn't moved. It said through the desk phone, which was ringing again even though I hadn't touched it, "Give me the key to 214 and I'll let the next one go." I didn't understand what that meant. I still don't. Not fully, but I understood enough to say no and hang up and lock myself in the back office until sunrise. On my last night, I gave my 2 weeks' notice early. I didn't care about the reference. Around 2 a.m., the elevator, which had been broken for a month, chimed on its own. The doors opened on the lobby floor. Empty. Then, from inside, a key card slid out onto the floor. Old, brass, heavier than a normal room key, has any right to be. Stamp 214. I didn't pick it up. I called Priya. She didn't answer, so I texted her. Just one line. It gave me the key. She called back within 30 seconds, her voice shaking. Do not touch it. Do not let it touch you. Lock the office door and wait for the day shift. I did exactly that. When the day manager arrived at 6 a.m., the key card was gone. The elevator was broken again, exactly as it had been for a month. I asked her straight out what was really on the second floor. She just said, I don't know who they were. Nobody's ever found out. But they've been asking someone to take their key since before I started here. And every auditor who's taken it has quit within a week. The ones who didn't take it just quit anyway. I quit that morning. I never went back for my final paycheck. Sometimes, late at night, my phone rings with a blocked number. I never answer. But once, I let it go to voicemail, just to see. There was no message, just breathing, and underneath it, so quiet I almost missed it. Room 214 is still open for you.